Night football preview. We got the Broncos. We got the Bengals. It's Monday Night Football. We're here. The guys are here to break it down. Make a get right game, trap game. Come find out. Denver Bronco Roundup starts now. Good evening, everyone. It is Sunday night, and yes, 3 of the 4 horsemen are here. We are here. We're going to break down the Monday night showdown. Peyton Manning, Eli Manning will be in there doing their podcast, and we're here doing our podcast right now. I'm here with 2 of my good friends. Keith's backstage with us tonight. Trevor, how you doing, my friend?
Doing well, Kenny. Excited to break this game down and get into it. Kind of feels like it's been a long time since we talked Denver Broncos football, so excited to get into it. Like you said, hopefully this is not a trap game for the Denver Broncos. If the Denver Broncos want to be playoff contenders, they've got to win this game and win this game at home without a Joe Burrow led Bengals offense.
Well said. Jody, I am very superstitious. For those who don't know, I'm a big follower of the Broncos. I love hanging out with my friends on Denver Bronco Roundup, but I am a Giants fan. And the Giants did the Chargers a nice favor today with our future quarterback, it looks like, Jody. So I'm expecting a little thank you from you on the air, because if you take care of business tomorrow, you get a little closer to the Chargers now. But all joking aside, I am a superstitious person, and I feel this is going to be one of those good weeks. You guys are going to hang out with us. We're going to break down the game. But Jody, your opening statement, my friend.
Like Trevor said, this is a must-win game at home, especially with Joe Burrow being out. This is hopefully a get-right game for this offense, as the Bengals defense is not very good. We just watched Carson Wentz last week put up 45 or in the 40s on them. So this needs to be a get-right game. And thank you to the Giants for knocking off and injuring a lot of the Charger players. I mean, they beat that old line up, and congrats to Jackson Dart on his first career NFL win, and total bummer that a top 3 to 5 wide receiver in the NFL might be out for the rest of the season now.
That hurt. But getting back to the Chargers real quick, and we're going to get some hellos in. Joe Alt goes down in this game with some kind of, looks like a high ankle sprain, and those could be tricky. They could be 1 week, they could be 3 weeks, they could be 6 weeks. You don't know how long he's going to be out.
And he was in a walking boot too.
Exactly, or at 100%. We're going to break it down for you guys. This is a must-win for the Broncos in many reasons. This division can be back to wide open with a win tomorrow for the Broncos. Let's get it, but we're going to get into it. I'm going to get some hellos out of got our good friend Ernie Mays, as always. Go Broncos country. Hello, Keith and friend. Keith's backstage. He hears all the comments, guys, so please say hello to Keith as well. Keith's backstage, doing well. Just hanging out, 2025, and it's usually me, but Keith's having some internet issues. Hopefully mine holds up tonight. Different sides of the country, and we have internet issues in 2025. You'd think technology, would go a long way these days, but we can't get our internets straightened up for some reason. But all joking aside, Keith is back there. He's hanging out. He's just got a little slow internet with us tonight. Rodney's saying good evening. Happy the Giants beat the Chargers. Heck yeah. Graham saying hello. He's saying, wow, Keith not on air. That's new. Welcome, guys. Martin, thank you. Martin saying congrats, Kenny, on the Giants win. And then a couple other comments. Peter coming in. Ronnie saying the Rams beat the Colts, but Peter Johnson coming in saying hello. I'm going to come across as one of those bad fans, but I have zero confidence in Denver's offense, and the Bengals have enough playmakers to at least get maybe 17 points. Tomorrow could be closer than we think. And Paul Schaefer, I want to say happy belated birthday to the Rocket Man. Well said, Paul. We forgot about that, Jody. Shame on me for not addressing that at the beginning of the show. We did not have a show Friday. The Rocket Man, happy belated birthday. Celebrated.
Yeah. Happy birthday.
I think it was the other day, so we didn't get to say it on the air, but happy belated, my friend. And maybe a Bronco birthday present for you tomorrow. But
absolutely.
Fans, audience, keep coming in. There's some happy birthdays coming in. Keep coming in. Let's get some questions from you guys. We're going to break down the offense first because we'll segue right into it with Peter's comment. He has zero confidence. I'll start with Trevor, the belated birthday boy. Zero confidence in this Denver offense, Peter has. Our job here as podcasters, as Bronco fans, is to get Peter on board on why, maybe get excited about this offense tomorrow, Trevor. So what is one thing you can point out to Peter that would give him some hope that we can have a nice offensive performance tomorrow?
Well, I would say first and foremost, I'll start off with the Bengals defense. I mean, 25th in yards and 26th in points given up around the NFL. I mean, this is a team that just defensively, we already kind of knew before the season started that they were going to be lacking a little bit on the defense side of the ball. They really needed to outscore teams to win. That's been the Cincinnati Bengals motto for a long time, it seems like now. They can never give Joe Burrow, I think, a good defense. I mean, they keep a lot of playmakers around, but they can't surround Burrow with a good defense. And Burrow's not playing now, so it's Jake Browning and playmakers. But again, if it's Jake Browning turns the football over a lot. I would just say this defense just Shamar Stewart, I guess, is that as well in this game. So that's a pretty big loss for Cincinnati. It's a pass rusher that you don't have to deal with if you're the Denver Broncos. But I would say Cincinnati's defense. I mean, this is a defense that gives up a lot of points, a lot of yards, and I expect this game to be a get right game for the offense, because if it's not a get right game for the offense, when is it going to be that get right game for this team? I mean, you have to have that at some point in time. I don't think the offense played horrible against the Chargers. They just weren't consistent enough. Need to see more consistency this week against the Bengals, though.
Yeah, well said. Keith saying internet is killing me, but not like that O-line is killing Burrow. and Keith, definitely Burrow in your division. It's because of injuries, though, with the Chargers. Herbert was running for his life today. So, yeah, I agree. The Bronco, we're going to get into the Bronco defense in a little bit. But Phil McLaughlin's saying hello. And Phil, if you I know you usually send stars. If you send stars, Phil, I can't see them personally. So if there's stars given, Phil, if you want to, feel free to put it in the chat, but we'll get your comment up, regardless. He's saying, good evening, Kenny, Rocketman, Judge, and Keith in the background. Just got to hope we get full execution from all three phases in this game. Well said, Phil. And like I said, if there's stars with that comment, we appreciate it. And if not, we appreciate you as always, regardless. So everybody. Jody, got a little different question for you. What do the Broncos have to do, not offensively, but what do you want to see from this run game that has been, an ongoing thing from you each week? You say, we got to get this run game going. Is this the week they have to get the run game going, or can they get away with average at best run game tomorrow and spread the ball around more?
I'm sure that they can probably get away with average run game and spread the ball around and win, but that's not a formula long term. They have got to commit to it more. J.K. Dobbins is top 10 in rushing before this week started, and that's with minimal carries. You got to feed J.K. Dobbins the ball more. He has been, in my opinion, he's been incredible when he's gotten touches. He needs 20 plus touches this game, and There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. That will do so much for every other thing. It will open up the middle for Bo Nix because you can play action. We'll do a lot of things. Teams are just, covering the middle and telling Bo Nix you can't throw it out. You can't throw it outside. So we're going to make you do that. So this run game leads to a lot of different things. So they need to commit to it, and they need to feed J.K. Dobbins this game.
I like that. Thank you, Phil. I just found out 100 stars, Phil. So we thank you as always for all your support, and keep the questions coming, guys. Definitely would like to answer some questions you have throughout the show. Keith, reunion alert. Watch out for these names: Noah Fant and Samaje Perine, key pieces in the Bengals offense.
Well,
We're going to get into the defense. What was that, Jody?
I think Noah Fant's out, isn't he, in concussion protocol? So I think he's out.
Okay.
No Fant's out, and then P. Ryan is playing. But again, Chase Brown is their lead back. So P. Ryan, how much are we going to see of Samaje Perine? That's I wouldn't expect to see a lot of Samaje Perine tomorrow.
Couple more hellos, and then a couple good comments and question. Paul, Miss Pearl, who's also our sponsor, Morgan Trinkets, saying hi all. Miss Pearl, thank you for joining. And underneath there, Clayton saying, hey guys, smash that like button and share, guys. Yeah, real quick, everybody, if you don't mind, if you're on YouTube, hit the like button. What it does is, a lot of people says it helps the channel. It does. What it does, it's free of charge. You click the like button. It gets, if you like what we're putting out there, it gets us noticed faster with more likes. So each like that we get on our podcast, if free of charge, and it gets our show out there into the public eye. Same thing with Facebook. And then Paul's got a question. Michael's saying, good evening, Kenny, Trevor, Jody. Keith is backstage, Michael, with some technical difficulties. I don't have the info in front of me, but I know you, just like I said with Keith, with Phil, if you send stars, Michael, just if you want to let us know. Oh, might be getting it now. 100 stars. There it is, Michael. Little delay. 100 stars from everybody's friend, Michael Ronquillo. We thank you as always, my friend, and appreciate the support as always. We're on the go today. We're going to be on Friday. We're just doing the offense right now, some keys to victory. And I'll just go real quick, guys, and then I got a question from Paul. Evan Ingram's got to be involved tomorrow. He's back. Not saying he's got to be 10 receptions, 100 yards, but he's got to be a threat where the Bengals are at least worried about him. Because when he's not on the field, there's no defense in this league that's worried about Lucas Krull, Akins, and Adam Troutman. Nobody's worried about them. Be a threat. I don't care if you get 3 or 4 catches, but be a threat where Nix can spread the ball around comfortably tomorrow. And be a threat, make a couple plays. That's what I want to see from Evan Ingram. I'm going to give Trevor this question from Paul. And then, Jody, if you want to add anything, I'll allow you to add. Do you guys think Sean Payton doesn't do enough motions like modern offenses, Trevor?
I definitely think that he could do more from a motion standpoint, but it's not even just the motion that, for the lack thereof motions and Sean Payton's offense. What drives me crazy is, I mean, the play call doesn't got to be a freaking paragraph. I mean, just simplify it down and let Bo Nix make adjustments up to the line of scrimmage. That's my biggest thing. Sean Payton's a veteran play caller. Shouldn't have to deal with this, many years in the league and many years calling plays, having to deal with the play clock trickling on down with the second-year quarterback. And you think that he's going to have success. I mean, or having to use a timeout. I mean, that timeout could be huge. And that might be something that causes this team a victory down the line, is you having to use a timeout because the play clock's ticking down and you can't get the playoff in time because there's a lack of communication, or there is the play call is just too dang long. Simplify it down, I think would help a lot. But as far as a motion standpoint, I do think he could add more into that for sure. Maybe a bunch front where you bunch a bunch of guys out and then go from there, because I've seen that work around the league a lot this year, and different offenses. But for me, it's just down to just kind of the nitty gritty, just the basics. I mean, it's just this team and this offense, they just got to get down to the basics for me first and foremost before we start adding motions and different stuff like that and getting creative. Got to get down to the nitty gritty and just get the dang play call in and let Bo do his thing at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I couldn't have said it any better. I know you guys are in Mountain Time Zone. I know a lot of our audience is in Pacific Time Zone. I came home from work and there was a morning game on an hour later. So I stayed awake and watched the Vikings versus the Steelers. And they call Kevin O'Connell the quarterback whisperer. You got Carson Wentz there. Yeah, they lost the game today, but they were down in the fourth quarter. And Kevin O'Connell's playbook is the size of this paper right here. Sean Payton's playbook is the size of a poster board. And that's why I feel like he's got so many plays on that playbook. Oh, should I call play number 8 or play number 88? What do I call here? And then it's already 15 seconds into the clock, and the play call is coming in late because there's so many plays on that playbook. Simplify it a little bit. Use 25 to 30 plays and save those other plays maybe for another defense. I mean, it's too many plays on that playbook, in my opinion. I couldn't agree more. I'll get some comments in a minute, but Jody, what are your thoughts on it? You want to add anything to what Trevor said?
No, I agree with what Trevor said. I mean, you could do some more motions and eye candy and different things, but it doesn't really matter when you're getting up to the line with 5-6 seconds left. You basically are getting set, and Bo Nix is doing this happy clap to get the ball snapped. I mean, you don't have time to do motions and all this other stuff because you can't get to the line quick enough. So you can go back if you actually watch if they show it in tomorrow's game. Watch if they show Sean Payton when he calls a play. They literally are on him for like 3-4 seconds, and he's still rambling the playoff. It's too much. It's too long. He needs to shorten it down, and that would solve a lot of things. Along with our motions are every other play is a different package of dudes that come in. That's the motion. All these different guys that come on the field. He needs to tighten it down, and that would help a lot of things.
Yeah, well said. Comments are rolling in. I want to get read Keats. He's backstage with us. So Keats saying the Bengals defense has weakness at the same spots as the Broncos, up front, on the D line against the run, and at the linebacker position in coverage. I'm going to get to the defense in a moment. I did see in an earlier comment Malcolm Roach is back tomorrow, and they said that should help with the run. Phil has some bold predictions. I want to hit this, and we'll hit this way. I'm going to give Jody the offense. I'll give Trevor the defense, and I'll take the special team guy. Bo Nix over 200 yards passing, Jody. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Rushing, I think he means as a team, over 130 yards.
And 3 turnovers, I think.
I'm going to say no to 130.
Defense, right? Defense for you, Trevor.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to say no to 130 until I see it, because Sean Payton hasn't had a 100-yard rusher since he's been here. So, I mean, he's probably combined for 130, but until he wants to commit to the run, I'm not going to just continue to hope for – I'm not going to just say he's going to do it. So, no.
I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to go way over 200 yards for Bo Nix, and it's going to be under the 130 for the Russian. Trevor, on the defensive side of the ball, is this defense going to get 3 turnovers or more?
I think they at least get 2. I think Jake Browning's the guy that loves to turn over the football. And unless, again, this is where Denver's defense has got to step up. Malcolm Roach coming back, he's got to be huge. That means you got to stop Chase Brown. Chase Brown can't get going. And then Keith, I know he's been in the comments saying as well, Chase Brown hasn't had a 100-yard game all season. Yeah, he has nowhere close to a 100-yard game. And he can't get going now. You don't give him any confidence, because if you get him going and you give him confidence in this offense confidence, that opens up the passing game. That opens up Jamar Chase, T. Higgins to just run downfield and run right past your cornerbacks, and just for them to get a little more creative. So I think they at least get 2. turnovers in this game. I think Jake Browning will cut it down a little bit, but he's been prone to turn the football over in the past.
I'll
Jeremy
piggyback off of that. I think
Go
if
ahead.
you pressure Jake Browning, he's shown in these last two and a half games that he throws interceptions.
Mm-hmm.
So
I can see a fumble.
You've got to get interceptions in this game.
I could see pressure on Browning and getting a fumble, blindside fumble or something from the backside. Jonathan Cooper, Zach Allen, maybe from the backside, getting a big play here in this game. Phil's comment comes in with another 100 stars. So thank you again, Phil. Thank you, Keith, for putting that on the screen. Jeremy Crawshaw, you know what? I like your take there. Never takes the field. That probably means the Broncos are in great shape to win tomorrow night's game. I want to see a sighting of Jeremy Crawshaw. He's my boy. We'll give him one punt, Phil. How about that? Can we go with one? One gets to take the field one time in this game, flips the field for the Broncos, and the Broncos never look back. That'll be but I like that, Phil. Some good bold predictions there, and thank you again for the 100 stars. Catch up on a couple comments. Keith wants the offense to run the rock and get the pass game going, expose the middle. And then he wants more motion, Keith. Help Bo figure out the coverage. Down below, Martin was agreeing the coach isn't helping, but if Bo Nix is running out of time, don't try and change the play. Just run what's called. About the play calling, getting the play calls in late. And let's see, catch up on a couple. Broncos rushers from Keith combined for over 100, not including Bo Nix. And Paul's calling the thunder from down under Crawshaw. Thank you, Keith. Our star givers on the night, 100, 200 from Phil McLaughlin and 100 from Michael Ronquillo. Thank you guys so much. We truly appreciate all the support you give all our shows, not just one show, and you're always here with us each and every night. We can't thank you enough.
With Keith brought up Bo Nix, do you guys think that he will look more settled in the pocket tomorrow night, or do we see the same?
Yeah, I'll go quick because I want Trevor to answer. For me, I think this is going to be Bo Nix's. It's the perfect game for Bo Nix to settle in. If you could hold back Trey Hendrickson, maybe you see some Adam Troutman tomorrow and Aikens blocking, helping out a little bit and double teaming Hendrickson, because there's really not too many other players I'm scared of on the Bengals defense right now. This is the get right game for Bo Nix. I think you're going to see him more comfortable tomorrow. It's week 4. If you don't see it tomorrow, then I start to not the worry level, the panic button ain't at a 10, but the panic button's starting to hit the bottom. It's starting to creep up a little bit if he has a bad game tomorrow against this defense at home. So, Trevor, I'll let you.
Stats wise, what's a get right game for Bo Nix?
I'm not worried about stats. Like, he can have a game where, just take control of the game, march the ball down the field, and then you get a couple of handoffs, 2-yard runs for touchdowns, takes away touchdowns from Bo Nix. I'm not worried about stats. I want to see completions. I want to see the accuracy tomorrow. So stat wise that's what I want to see. If he throws the ball 20 times, I want 15 to 16 out of 20. If he throws it 30 times, I want 22 to 23 for 30 at the least. I want accuracy tomorrow, and I want to see scoring on this offense in some way. But I'll let Trevor go. I don't want to take his thunder.
No, I agree. I mean, I think Trey Hendrickson, Kenny, you mentioned earlier, they're going to move him around. I think he'll start on Garrett Bowles' side, left side, and I think they're probably going to move Trey Hendrickson around, though. I wouldn't be surprised if they challenge Mike McGlinchey tomorrow night and move Trey Hendrickson kind of around the defensive line a little bit, rotate him around, because, I mean, again, I think that's Cincinnati's all they got right now. I mean, Shamar Stewart, their first-round pick, is out. That's supposed to be one of their stud edge rushers that they just got in this past year's draft. So Trey Hendrickson's all you got when it comes to getting after Bo Nix. This offensive line, these tackles, they're going to be important. They've got to be able to slow down Trey Hendrickson. He cannot be a full force in this game, or it might be a long day for the Denver Broncos offense.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree with that.
We'll ask a couple more questions on the offensive side, and then we should have our second half for the defensive side of the show. Keith's stats: Bo Nix, 16 for 27, 189, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. J.K. Dobbins, 12 for 89 and a touchdown. R.J. Harvey, 8 for 72 and a touchdown. Keith's going a big run game from the Broncos tomorrow. I was just going to I'll ask Jody, are we going to see, you predicted J.K. Dobbins. Are we going to see week 4 some of these rookies start to make an impression, starting with R.J. Harvey? Is he going to make an impression tomorrow, or is it going to be more J.K. Dobbins tomorrow, Jody? We see an Amarian Hampton. We're seeing Keyshawn Judkins. We're starting to see the rookie running backs, Cam Scatterboo for the Giants. We're starting to see this deeper class, which we thought in the draft. We're starting to see some of these guys be key contributors on their offenses. Are we going to start seeing R.J. Harvey, a second-round pick, be a contributor on this Broncos offense, Jody?
I think you're going to see the same thing as last week. Peyton is going to force him for a while, and if it doesn't take off, then he may back off. If it takes off, he'll use him more. But I'm still going to say, until I see a running back get 20 plus carries or a combined 30 to 35 carries, I can't go and say we're just going to run the ball, because Sean Payton has given us no indication that he wants to do that. I mean, last week would have been the perfect game. You had multiple chances to run clock. You were up 7 points. You could have taken it to double digits, and you didn't run J.K. Dobbins at all. So till he proves it, I'm going to say no. The other guy that I think we might see, and that's because Mims possibly not play, is I think you're going to see a lot more Pat Bryant. I think they're going to try their hardest to get some plays over the middle and get Bo Nix comfortable. That's where he's comfortable. And that's where Pat Bryant really shines, off the releases right off the ball, getting separation, that type of thing. Him and Evan Ingram, I think that over the middle, little short 5, 6, 7, 8 yard passes, I think they're going to try to get Bo Nix comfortable and settled in and going.
Fair enough. And the last one I'll give to Jody, because I was just Trevor, because I was just going to mention Marvin Mims, and we who steps up, but instead, Trevor, I'll go this route. Evan Ingram back. We know Cortland Sutton's the number 1 wide receiver. Who's the number 2? Who's going to be the number 2 guy in this offense tomorrow? Troy Franklin, receiver-wise. Troy Franklin, Evan Ingram, or etc.
I mean, I want to say Evan Ingram because you want Evan Ingram to prove that he was worth getting this offseason. But I don't buy that he's fully healthy. I really don't. I think that's a big reason why he's been down. I mean, I know that they're trying to get him healthy and they're trying to be conservative with him, but I don't believe Evan Ingram's healthy right now. For me, I'm going to say Troy Franklin. I mean, he showed it a couple weeks ago against the Colts. He showed exactly the upside that he could possibly have. And I don't think we've even seen the best from Troy Franklin. I mean, 8 receptions for 89 yards and a touchdown. I would take that any day for Troy Franklin on this offense. I think a lot of what Cincinnati is going to throw at Denver is going to be at Cortland Sutton. And I think that'll open up the field for Troy Franklin. But again, it goes back to the run game. You've got to be able to have a run game. You can't just be able to throw the football all day. And even if it's just against Cincinnati, you still got to be able to run the football. And if it's working with J.K. Dobbins, keep J.K. Dobbins as your running back. Stop trying to flip-flop and just this and that. I mean, if run with who has a hot hand. If it's R.J. Harvey, stick with R.J. Harvey. If it's J.K. Dobbins, stick with J.K. Dobbins. But I think that was Sean Payton's biggest problem last week. I think we could have seen a huge game from J.K. Dobbins last week if they would have just stuck with J.K. Dobbins and what was working. Yeah.
I'm going to go.
I'll add one thing. McLaughlin, he had a decent game last year against the Bengals. And then Peyton just went away from him. I mean, he had that one, I think it was right after half. They ran the ball all the way down and then threw that touchdown to Sutton, and then they just stopped using him. So you can run on this team. I think everyone agrees. This goes back to Peyton. He's the one that's got to commit to it. It's not running backs aren't just finding running backs are not doing the job. He has to commit to the run.
That's where Evan Ingram comes into factor tomorrow. Even if you don't use him. Like I said, I don't care if he gets 3 catches for 30 yards. Just make him a presence that the Bengals linebackers are scared, and the defensive coordinators got to have him, have them worried about Evan Ingram all over the field. Opens up the middle of the field for the running backs. But I could see Cortland Sutton having a big game because of Evan Ingram being on the field. And I'm going to call for Cortland Sutton to have, close to 100 yards and at least 1 touchdown tomorrow, once again, being the number 1 wide receiver in this offense. Their secondary is not that good, and I think Cortland Sutton will start off easy with exposing it tomorrow, and then down the line with Troy Franklin and Evan Ingram as well. Guys, I see we're at the halfway mark. Keith usually does the Morgan trinkets. Trevor, do you have it in front of you, or are we just going to improvise on Morgan trinkets?
Yes,
and
I
talk
have
about them? Okay,
I have it in front of me.
I'll let you take over, my friend.
I got to talk to you guys, you all, Broncos country, about our amazing sponsor, Morgan Trinkets. Miss Pearl, thank you for sponsoring our show. As always, let me tell you a little bit more about what they do. With over 33 years experience, they are your headquarters for Southwest pottery and jewelry at Estate Gold at wholesale prices. Started in 1990, once a nationwide company. Now they do shows exclusively in northern Colorado and southern Wyoming. All their gold is real gold, 10, 14, or 18 karat gold. All their silver is sterling silver. How do you find Morgan Trinkets? On Facebook by searching Morgan Trinkets Co. On Etsy today. If you catch Morgan Trinkets at one of their shows, they take all major credit cards. On Facebook, they take PayPal, and all orders are shipped free over $50. Check out Morgan Trinkets. That's Morgan Trinkets Co. on Etsy today.
Miss Pearl is saying next 2 weekends, collectors shows. Yep. Thank you, Miss Pearl, for the information. Little update on the Sunday night football game. Got a touchdown from the Cowboys, saying Michael Ronquillo. I don't want that, Michael. We need Packers to score. Joking. So let's flip the side, guys. Let's we're right on schedule. This is great. Let's flip it over to the defense. And I'm curious to see what Trevor's got to say about the defense, because like Trevor, I was very high on this defense to start the season. It's only 3 weeks in, but all pros on all 3 sides of the ball coming in, all 3 levels of the defense coming in. Benito, Zach Allen up front, Dre Greenlaw in the middle, of course, PS2 in the back end. Dre Greenlaw hasn't been able to see the field. He's now on IR. PS2 is not looking like the defensive player of the year early in the season. Nick Benito's doing Nick Benito things, doing good. And Zach Allen's been okay. I'm going to say good, not great. You put your other pieces in there. This defense has not been top 5 in the NFL this year, in my opinion. Struggling still against the run. And Alex Singleton and Moss are getting burned left and right, it seems like, especially Alex Singleton in coverage. Take the secondary, some silly plays from some silly penalties from Hufanga. You can fix that. But all in all, this defense has not performed to its standards, in my opinion, Trevor. And I am a little concerned. And if Browning comes out tomorrow and has a big game, I got friends, and we all know everybody knows Kurt Valenti, biggest diehard fan over there in New Jersey. He does a Bronco podcast over on the K&K Sports Show. He's calling for Vance Joseph's head because you have a guy named Jim Leonard, apparently, who's ready to come in and take over. Should Vance Joseph be held accountable for this subpar? I don't want to even say subpar, but when you expect the defense to be number 1 and top 3, I'll say, in the NFL, and they're around 15 to 17, you're not playing to your standards. So, Trevor, are you a little concerned about this defense with Vance Joseph? And should he be held accountable for 2 fourth quarter where they couldn't make stops when they had a lead? I'll put it in those words, because 2 weeks now they've had a lead in the fourth quarter, and his defense gave up the lead and lost the game.
I'll say this. I think the Colts game, I think you had an argument there to blame the defense a little bit more, but against the Chargers this last week, and I don't think you had as good of an argument. And I say that because you've seen multiple possessions where Broncos there's 3 and out, punting the ball multiple times. Eventually, when you continue to do that, Justin Herbert is good enough that he's going to find a way to beat you. And I think we've seen that way too many times. You have it in an offensive mind like Sean Payton. You brought him here to get the offense going, not to have a top 5 defense. I mean, again, it's beneficial to have a top 5 defense for sure, but it can't just be the defense's fault all the time. At some point in time, this offense has to start stepping up. And I feel like it's been the same dang recipe that we've been talking about since Sean Payton's arrived. And it's been this offense, and this offense just hasn't been consistent ever. And that's a problem. And they've really got to start being more consistent. You can stop teams for sure, but you've got to still be able to outscore teams. We've never seen the Broncos be able to outscore teams without their defense having to step up. I mean, you've got to be able to find ways to win, and it can't just always be the defense's fault. It can't all fall on the defense's shoulders. Of course, the defense has got to be better. You're missing players right now. Drake Greenlaw, once he's back, will really help in coverage with this defense. But at some point in time, this offense has really got to start taking shape if you're going to win playoff games. That's a playoff caliber team in the Chargers. I know they just had a bunch of injuries. I get that. Still a playoff caliber team with a playoff caliber quarterback in Justin Herbert. You've got to be able to put points up against really good teams. You can't just win 9-10 or win these low-scoring games. Eventually, these teams are going to find ways to beat you. Offensively, you can't go quiet. You've got to be able to keep your foot on the gas and be able to beat teams that way as well, outscoring teams.
Yeah. Before I go to Jody, I'm going to give you Keith's question, Jody, but I do want to say a couple more hellos. We have back-to-back comments from Peter Johnson and Glenn Ashley. By the way, our 2 friends from down under, both from Australia. Good day, mates. I love. I don't have a very good Australian accent to try and butcher it, but I just want to say good day, my friends, and over here in the States. Glad you guys are here with us. Peter says he feels like the defense is doing enough, like you just said, Trevor. Give the offense a chance to put up points and win games. And our friend Glenn Ashley. Good to see you, Glenn. It's been a little while. Good morning, Trevor, Jody, and Kenny. Like I said, they're out there in Australia, so it is morning time. The secondary has to make a statement this game. They were torched last year by Higgins and Chase. This is a statement game. The offense has to use this game to run the ball well, hit passing routes, and convert 2nd and 3rd downs. More Dobbins, more Harvey, more Bryant. Well said, Glenn. Glad you're with us this morning and hanging out with us. Good to see you, my friend. And then Phil coming in saying VJ Vance Joseph just doesn't seem to adjust in the 4th. I think Peyton is the same. It's like they both go into prevent late, especially if we're ahead. Well said, Phil. And Jody, before I go to you, Kurt, I talked to Kurt a lot and get some information too on the Broncos because, like I said, he's a diehard. He said tomorrow, guys, he's almost guaranteeing you guys are going to be in a hole at least 3-0. Every game so far this year, it seems like the offensive came down on the first drive and gotten a field goal. I mean, so the right out of the gate, you're putting yourself in a hole. And then, like Phil's saying, don't seem to adjust in the 4th. That's kind of like that seems like a problem if that's the case, Jody. Struggling to get a stop on the first series and then at the end of the game. So your 2 most important series, you're struggling, Jody. Is this a problem? And then I want you to answer that. And that's 100 stars from Phil. I want you to answer that. And then I want you to answer, Keith wants to know the bigger matchup, PS2 versus Chase or Moss, I'm guessing, versus Higgins.
To me, it's a problem. I mean, you need to be able to stop a team on their first drive. I have this feeling if we win the coin toss, we do the same thing we did in Tampa. We take the ball. He has, a set of plays that he's going to run, and he's going to force a touchdown, just like we did that Tampa game. We drove down the field, scored a touchdown on our first drive, and never looked back. I can see something like that in this game. I do want to add one thing. There was some people in here saying we need to be worried about Riley Moss. So I have there's probably a lot of people that thought he played bad last week. He was targeted 12 times last week, only 4 receptions allowed for 65 yards. He did give up 1 touchdown that was an incredible pass by, Justin Herbert. I don't know what better coverage he could have been. He was all over Keenan Allen in the end zone, and he had the tip ball that led to the interception. So, and he gave up a passer rating of 45.5. So it may look like he's playing bad, but if you dive into some things, he's not playing as bad as you think. And the amount of passes that's getting thrown his way because no one wants to throw at PS2 is a lot. So I think he's playing. I think he's playing really well for what they're asking him to do. I'm gonna say I think PS2 shutting down Chase obviously is number one, but I think this is a game that Riley Moss has had in his mind for a while. He came back from the injury and he kind of got torched last year by Higgins. Higgins scored the game-winning touchdown in overtime. So I think that's in the back of his mind, and I think Riley Moss is going to play really well, and this is a redemption game for him. So I'm going to say Moss on Higgins.
Well said, Jody. And you got a couple people agreeing with you. Peter is agreeing, and you say Moss and Higgins for sure. And I'm with you, Jody. I don't get the Moss hate. He's having a good, targeted a lot, 12, 4 receptions. That's not bad. I'm going to say it's not bad. Trevor, could this be a game? I compare, I watch Giants games, so I compare a lot of Giants situations with Broncos situations because some of them are similar. You got a first-round pick, Jahdae Barron, slot corner. Are we going to start seeing more of him on the field? Our slot corner, Drew Phillips, 2 weeks in a row, big interception. Is it time Jahdae Barron starts getting on the field and maybe, covering, trying to cover T. Higgins if Moss is struggling a little bit? Is it time to get this rookie on the field?
I'll say this. Even when PS2 was a rookie, he didn't really see the field immediately right away. So I don't want to press the panic button too much with Jahdae Barron because we know that secondary, we know that already the Broncos secondary is pretty deep. I mean, you have PS2, Riley Moss, and then you have Jaquan McMillan, who's actually played really well. A lot of people were calling for Jaquan McMillan to be out the door. Denver got to get rid of him because you got Jahdae Barron. No, he's played really well. And I think that's why you're not seeing Jahdae Barron out there on the field. I mean, yeah, if Van Schuster wants to get creative and throw him out there for a few plays, sure. And he does get playing time. It's just not a lot right now because of how deep Denver is in their secondary. Yeah, Chris Abrams-Drain as well. So it just doesn't see the field a lot on the defense side of the ball. So I think give it time. Jahdae Barron will see the field. He may not make that big leap this year, but I think towards maybe the end of the season, going into next season, that's when you'll see that big leap from Jahdae Barron. He'll get in there. He'll start for this team because that if Denver, all the needs that Denver had this offseason, I don't think they're just going to take Jahdae Barron just to sit him on the bench. They obviously have big plans for this guy. They know the upside in him as well. He's going to see the field. It just in due time, he will see the field. I wouldn't panic after 4 weeks, or I should say 3 weeks now, of him not seeing the field consistently. It's a good problem to have too many cornerbacks in the room than not enough.
Yep. Good. That's good points. Good points. 2 comments on it. Keith saying he saw Barron last week and he had some good coverage. Peter Johnson saying, I don't think we are seeing as much of Barron as expected because McMillan is doing a good job. And he is doing a good job over there. Victor Munoz coming in. Need to get a good run-pass balance. Harvey needs the reps, and it'll help with game clock management. Back to the offense on Victor. And welcome, Victor. We're on the defense right now, but any questions you guys have, we're going to hit questions in a couple minutes, and we'll get some predictions in as well. We got about 10 minutes left in the show, give or take a minute or two there. I got another one for Jody. I'll go for you on this one, Jody. I mentioned Alex Singleton. Justin Strinad's in for Dre Greenlaw. We know the Broncos, the Bengals run game has been struggling as well. Their offensive line's not good. But they do have an underrated tight end, in my opinion, in Mike Gesicki. I think they're going to try and use him. Alex Singleton's been poor in coverage. If Alex Singleton continues to have poor coverage, is it time to bench Alex Singleton is Lavelle Bailey elevated? Or is he still on the practice squad? Who's the other guy, if you guys can help me?
They have Karen Reed.
Reed. That's it.
Yeah.
Is it time to get maybe him in certain situations over Alex Singleton? Because he really hurt you guys last week in coverage. It was bad.
I think it's time to look who's out there on the market and possibly make a trade, because Reed was basically kept here for special teams.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and they have not elevated Bailey in, I think, 2 weeks now. So
yeah,
there's a reason why he's not coming up. But I guess for me to answer that, I would like to know how soon do they feel? I guess you got 3 weeks, well, basically 2 weeks now after tomorrow, of no more Greenlaw. And he could possibly be back. Does he take over and you have Greenlaw and Strnad? And how close is Sanders? If Sanders is somewhat close, and I probably don't go make a move, but at some point you're going to have to look there. I think Singleton is getting a longer leash just because he wears the C and the green dot and some different things. But at some point that's going to have to be addressed. And that's why I'm also giving VJ a little bit of I don't want to say a pass, but you're down basically 2 starting linebackers and you're down your best run stuffing defensive lineman in Malcolm Roach. So when he gets all these guys back, let's see what this D is after that.
Yep. Well said. I don't know. Like I know I'm always big on asking, Keith questions. I asked him on Morning Juice. We were talking about the linebacker situation. And for those who don't know, we have a new show on Monday mornings. We may not have a show tomorrow morning, depending on the internet situation. But we go on 7 a.m. on Monday mornings, and we talk not just Broncos, but all football. Come hang out with us in the morning if you guys are awake, getting ready for work, or just want to get up and have some breakfast with the Morning Juice. Come hang out with us. But mentioned it on that show. And I thought about it after, and we're in week 4. If you're still on the couch as a linebacker in week 4, you probably should be staying on the couch. And so Josie Jewell was out there and Isaiah Simmons. Those were 2 names that came to mind, and Howard Griffith. Then I mentioned trade, and I'm looking at it now. Hey, if you want to give up a 5th-round pick, a 6th-round or 7th-round pick, sure. Because where are those picks this year? They're not even on the field besides Jeremy Crawshaw. But I don't want to give up a 1st, 2nd, 3rd, or 4th. And where I'm going with this is, maybe like Jody said, Drew Sanders can contribute. Justin Strnad's playing well enough where he can, be a contributor on this defense. Maybe Alex Singleton shouldn't be playing every down. He's coming off a major injury. You got 3 guys now. Maybe you can rotate them with Reed. You can rotate 4 guys on your defense at linebacking core. But it's going to be curious to see if Drew Sanders can come back. The schedule's in favor. You got some winnable games, against some teams that have been struggling to come out of the gate. Nothing's 100%, but you got some winnable games. Maybe you can get yourself fixed at linebacker as well. But
I would say,
Trevor.
Sorry, Kenny, I don't mean to interrupt you. I would say, I don't know that it's a good plan for the Broncos to even rely upon Drew Sanders. I mean, this is a guy that was fighting for playing time at the end of the season. I mean, he hasn't seen a lot of reps at inside linebacker because first and foremost, they didn't know where they wanted to play him, at edge or at inside linebacker. Now it's inside linebacker, but he can't stay on the field. That's the thing is, can you really rely upon a guy like that when you have Dre Greenlaw that has problems staying on the field? Yeah. I mean, I think that at some point in time before the trade deadline, I think they're going to have to adjust inside linebacker, especially if you're making a playoff push. I mean, free agency, but there's not a lot of free agents out there right now. Eric Kendricks, is that a guy you're going to go out there and go get?
No.
I mean, I know Denver last year, if we take a moment and go back in time a little bit, Denver added 2 veteran inside linebackers. Zach Cunningham was one of them that they ended up adding last season. but there's not just those guys sitting out in the open market. So you're going to have to, at some point in time, address inside linebacker. They should have done that in the offseason. That's something they have lacked there of doing so. So, but I think Drew Sanders, relying upon Drew Sanders, I just don't think they can do that right now, given the lack of playing time he's got there in the NFL, and as well as his injury history.
That's a great point. I do have two teams, I think, real quick, that I think would be perfect for the Broncos, because these two teams are going to probably want draft capital for a quarterback next year. And they know him well. Broncos organizations know him well, and Sean Payton knows him well. Obviously, number one, I'm going Saints. They might be unloading everybody to try and make sure they can get that number one pick next year. And the second team, the New York Jets. See who they got. You got Darren Moogie over there, the former executive over at Broncos. Going to have some ties with him. See if they want to move on from any of their linebackers and maybe get some linebacker help from them. Again, I don't want to give up a first, second, or third round pick, but you got 2 fourth-round picks, a 5th, 6th, and 7th. I'm okay giving up any of those picks for linebacker help, which you're a playoff contender. You don't want to be short at a position heading into the second half of the season.
Demario Davis would be a name to watch.
Demario Davis is a name to definitely.
That's the guy I was just going to say. I mean, he's ranked. I mean, he's got a 90.4 PFF grade. He is 36 years old, so it's not like it's a long-term plan. So I could see the Saints trying to get out from under that to get draft picks.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Yep.
So, I mean, that's the guy, and he's played with Sean Payton. That's the guy if I'm making a trade, that's the guy. I bet you could get him for a 3rd or a 4th, and I make that trade all day.
Yep.
Especially with you've got the extra 4th round that you picked up from Devon Bailey, so you've got 2 fourths.
I'm with you, and I don't want to bring in a linebacker now like Josie Jewell, Isaiah Simmons, and those other guys we mentioned, because they're on the couch 4 weeks in. They're not in football shape. They haven't had any practice on a football field in almost a year, and maybe in some cases a year. So I want somebody who's been playing on a team and tradable asset like Demario Davis. See who the Jets have. Certain teams that are, maybe looking for a quarterback, and an extra pick or 2 can go a long way in a team looking for a quarterback next year. They might to move on, and salary cap wise too, may be looking to move on. I want to get a hello in. Patrick Wiltsey said hello before. So aloha, Patrick, out there in Hawaii. Thanks for joining us. Lion Coffee, 160 years in the business. Supplies us with our fuel, Patrick. He does they do a great, amazing job over there as always, and takes care of us all very well here at the Denver Bronco Roundup. And we can't thank you enough, Patrick, for all your support and all your rocket fuel that you give us.
I'll add one thing. I keep hearing Josie Jewell get brought up. I don't really think he's an option, because he chose to kind of step away because of the concussion things that he's dealing with when he was with the Panthers, or he'd be still in Carolina playing. So I don't really even think that's an option.
Yeah.
And
there's Graham saying coffee or coffee. Well, when you New Yorkers, you say everything is aw, so it's coffee for me. Jeremy Crawshaw. so yeah, it's the awes for me there, Graham. Adam and Kayla saying, "What's good, family? Let's go Broncos." I'm gonna get the predictions in a second. I see Keats I'll read Keats, and then everybody else throw theirs in. I know there's some earlier. If you're still here, put them in again. We'll get them out. We're getting close to the end here. Broncos get a victory on Monday night. They head into October on an upswing. 28-13 Broncos. 2 of those touchdowns could come from the defense. Let's do this, guys. You got anything else defense? If not, let's get into our prediction and our offense. I want to do this. Prediction and our offensive and defensive player of the game. For everybody else out there, play along. Give us your prediction of the score, offense, and defensive player of the game. But before that, guys, you got anything else on the defense?
No. I was just going to throw up Phil's comment there real quick, Kenny, while we're talking about
why don't you hit that? Yeah, hit that.
So LaVelle Bailey, pretty much Phil. I mean, he's not going to be a starter because he's mainly plays on special teams. I mean, 52% of snaps he played on special teams last season, and he's played 35% of the snaps this season. So he's basically a special teams guy too. So he's just like Karen Reed, but pretty much. I mean, those two guys I don't think can be relied upon to start either. So and that might be a big reason why LaVell Bailey wasn't kept on this roster as well. And I mean, it's just come down to a special teams decision. But to answer your question, that's why he's not a starter, or hasn't been starting, I should say, at least from everything that the stats say and data say about LaVell Bailey.
Thanks, Trevor. Got some predictions coming in. Adam, Kayla saying 38-17 Broncos. Pearl 28-7. Karen saying hello. Welcome, Karen. Hi all. 4-day weekend kept me busy. Ready for a win on Monday night, although primetime seems to be a struggle somewhat. She's going 31-17. Michael, 42-17. Ernie, 31-13. Mims, offensive player of the game if he's in, and defense PS2. Glenn, 33-13. Offensive player of the game, Dobbins. Defense, Benito, 3 sacks. I love the predictions and the reason why I like that. Benito, 3 sacks. Bold prediction, running back RJ Harvey will have 2 rushing touchdowns. And bring in Chad Muma, Rodney's saying. There's another name to watch out for. Predictions are coming in. So, guys, I'm going to read the predictions first, and then we'll get ours. 31-10 from Patrick. 23-20 Graham. Close one from Graham. And I'm guessing Broncos. Rodney, 28-16. I'll go first. I'll get it out of the way so you guys can definitely break it down a little more. This is going to be a get-right game. With that being said, what I mean by get right, offense is going to have long, sustained drives. Somebody said it earlier in the chat. Long, sustained drives. 1 or 2 of them, unfortunately, are going to be a field goal. The other ones are going to be 7 points. So for that reason only, 23 for the Broncos, but the defense has even a bigger get-right game. Create those 3 turnover bowl prediction that Phil had. I'm going to go one more. I'm going to say 4 turnovers for the Broncos. The difference in this game, I'm going to go a low 13 points for the Bengals. 23-13 Broncos victorious. And then my offensive player of the game, Cortland Sutton. And I don't usually like to go chalk, but I'm going to go Cortland Sutton. Defensive player of the game, I think this is going to be a Zach Allen game. Zach Allen's going to be the one to have 2 sacks and maybe a couple big tackles for loss or a fumble recovery in this game. Zach Allen, my defensive player of the game. Couple more bold prediction. Jahdae Barron, 2 interceptions from Michael. And Keith is saying Jonas Griffith, I would look at big plans before an injury. He's healthy again. And Pearl, maybe Franklin on offense would be her player of the game. Let's go. I got Trevor next to me. Let's go Trevor first with his prediction and offensive player of the game and defensive player of the game.
I'm going to go, and I said this last week a little bit. I kind of hinted at it when I hinted at a Chargers victory against the Broncos. I did come back and say, hey, I think the Broncos are going to beat the Cincinnati Bengals. Big reason Joe Burrow's not around, so you don't have to deal with an elite quarterback. That's going to be helpful, let alone for the defense. So I do have a Broncos victory. I think 28-12. That's what I'd say. I don't believe in that Cincinnati offense. And if this game gets out of hand, I think it's going to be because of Chase Brown getting going on the ground. I think if he gets going, it could be a long game for this defense. You're going to wear this defense out, the Broncos defense out. And so if Denver can just stop Chase Brown, which Chase Brown has not been efficient all season up to this point, I think this is definitely a favorable matchup for the Denver Broncos because you got a guy like Jake Browning who will turn the football over. For my offensive MVP, I'm going to go J.K. Dobbins. I think this is a J.K. Dobbins kind of game. I think he gets 2 touchdowns on the game. On the game, I think he establishes himself as the Broncos RB1. He has a hot hand. He's had the hot hand for a couple of weeks. I think Jody's been right on point with that. So I think J.K. Dobbins is my offensive MVP. Defensive MVP, ooh, that's a tough one. I'm going to go Jonathan Cooper. I think this is a Jonathan Cooper kind of game. I think he gets after Jake Browning, and Jonathan Cooper solidifies himself as leads his team in sacks, I would say, after this game, because I think this is going to be a big Jonathan Cooper kind of game.
Got Keith coming in with Dobbins as well. 87 yards and a touchdown. His offensive guy. Benito, 3 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, and a touchdown. That would be Hall of Fame numbers there. Keith, love it. And we got a new name. I just love this. I love some of the YouTube screen names. We got Kevin coming in. We need this win. What's up, Kevin? Thanks for joining us. Appreciate you. Just having some fun. I like the logo there with the Bronco there. So welcome to the show. Good to see you. Jody, you get the final say before we sign off tonight.
I think this is a Tampa Bay Buccaneers type game from last year. It's a good. Sean Payton knows that this is a very important game. He will have things structured in a way for Bo Nix to look more comfortable in the pocket and get settled in. I don't really expect a laser show like Atlanta last year, 5 touchdowns and 300+ yards. But like you said, I want to see long sustained drives and touchdowns. I think they know that they've got to get Evan Ingram involved, and I think they will. I think he has somewhere like 6-7 catches for 60-70 yards, but important catches, moving the chains, picking up key third downs. And I'm just going to go the whole D-line. I think they get pressure on Jake Browning all game and force him into bad decisions, probably a couple INTs. And I see something in the range of like 27-13, somewhere in there. I don't want to just go out on a limb and say, 42 points. I need to see it for a few weeks just before I just say all of a sudden we're back and we're going to score those kind of points. But Sean Payton knows what's at stake here, and I think, especially being on national TV, I think he's got some stuff up his sleeve, and I expect good things from all 3 phases.
Yep. Well said. I'm going to wrap it up with some comments. Keith, Michael saying Javonte Williams looking better with the Cowboys. He is, Michael. He is. He's looking fresh right now, but we'll see if he can keep it up for a whole season. But he does. And good for him. Good for him. Doing good over there. He's on the other conference, so we're okay with him over there doing well. At least I am. I mean, I'm a Giants fan, but as a Bronco fan, I'm okay with him doing better on an NFC team. Keith's expecting run. Dobbins Harvey over 150 yards. Graham, hope you're all right. Paul saying the Bengals almost ruined our playoff hopes last year. Let's crush them. Michael saying how the Eagles did a fake tush push for a touchdown today. Yeah, the easiest touchdown Saquon Barkley will ever have in his life. Go watch it today. Never have an easier touchdown in his career. With that being said, I want to say thank you to my great co-hosts tonight, Trevor, Jody. Awesome job Sunday night. We're usually on Friday nights. Keith, thank you for holding the fort backstage, keeping us up to date with star givers and anything else that's going on in the chat that we may have missed. And of course, most importantly, thank all of you, everybody out there. There's too many names to list, but we recognize you all. I can promise you that, and we greatly appreciate you all. Some shows this week we may or may not. I'm gonna put my co-hosts on the spot, maybe. Do we want to do a post-game show tomorrow? It's Monday night.
We will.
I'm down. Let's hope it's a victory party. Come hang out with us directly after tomorrow night's game. We're going to hang out. Hopefully it's a victory party celebration, and we can have a nice party tomorrow night after the Broncos Bengals Monday night game. Also, we're going to get in touch. We'll make an announcement. We'll see. We'll up in the air with Morning Juice tomorrow with some technical difficulties that are going on. We will let everybody know. Hopefully we can make it in the morning for you. And the next Denver Bronco Roundup show will be Wednesday, 9 p.m. Mountain Time. Guys, thank you again. Posse, thank you again. I'm going to try this, and I may butcher it. In the words Keith Brugman made famous, remember to keep your boots in the stirrups. Is it guns in the holsters first, or guns in the holsters and your Broncos in the heart? Or did I leave something out?
No, you're good.
Remember, keep your boots in the stirrups, guns in the holsters, and the Broncos in your heart. Until next week. Until Wednesday.
Till tomorrow.
Until tomorrow. Sorry.
Yes.
See, I butchered that. I didn't butcher Keith's quote, but I butchered tomorrow. Let's give a mile high salute, everybody. Go Broncos country. See you all tomorrow night. Go Broncos.